Hey, thanks for watching the channel here at TJR Sim here. If you want some discounts on some awesome sim racing products, check out my link tree here in the description. Discount code for everything that accepts discount codes is TJR Sim. Discount code TJR Sim. Thanks for watching. See you later.
Alrighty, thanks for joining me here. The second video. This is iteration, or the third video on the series here of turning this into a track bike. So thanks for joining along here. So yep, we got the SC project installed, and if you watched that video, you'd heard that the the delivery guy had delivered my Woodcraft stands and then my GP lifter. So I got the GP stands as well. On my old Gixxer 1000 over there, I used GP lifts, and they were Gills tooling back in the day, I believe. And I looked for them on my Busa and my Ducati back in the day. Well, the Ducati didn't matter because it's single-sided. Now it might be important because they went to a regular split swing arms. But I was looking for it here, of course, surely since this is more of a popular track bike, they have it. And sure enough, Woodcraft has them. Some other people have them as well. I'm actually going to put some chain adjusters on here too. Not the Gills like I have on my Busa here, which I do like the way those look. They look gorgeous on there, and you do set it and forget it. But incrementally adjusting with the ones that I want. Pug makes some lights. I forgot the light something. Make some. A couple of people, Bonamisi makes some. Those look really freaking long. But anyway, I'm going to get some of those as well. I hadn't decided what brand yet. And then I'll probably put the Gills nut on here, which is self-locking instead of having this Carter pin here. And that way I'll be able to adjust it nice and easy. So I also have and I hope it fits on here. I don't know if it will or not, but at least it will fit on my Pitbull stand. But I got a front Pitbull stand. I normally run Pitbull for everything, and I probably should have ran Pitbull on here, but I really liked this stand set up with those lifters. And anyway, it is what it is. They have a little adjustment there where you can just adjust the lift of it. So when you removing your tire, you can adjust the angle so you don't have to put your foot underneath the tire and hold it up to get it in place and then get pissed off that your bearings fell out and all that. So anyway, I digress. That stuff's coming too. And I actually have some lock-in bearings in there now, so you don't have to worry about your bearings falling out. So lots of cool stuff they got out for this bike, and I'm loving it. So anyway, we're going to put these on here. Just to quickly go over this setup here of the Woodcraft, if you don't know. All right, zoom out a little bit. So these are adjusters here, and they got a nice flat on the top here, so you can torque this down. Where's my wrench at? And so you can loosen it up, pull this out right completely. And I have it just on there enough so it don't fall out. But you will adjust this width on both of them to fit your bike, right? For your GP lifters. And then they have this little bicycle clamp here that you can clamp into place, and so it doesn't move. Well, it doesn't really matter because you got to have a spring here, or a pin rather, so it gives you these pins. And as you'll see here, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustments, but you got all of these incremental adjustments, but really these are the only adjustments you have. So this looks nice, like you got something extra trick, and don't get me wrong, this is really cool, but this is deceiving. So when I looked at this, as soon as I looked at it on the website, I'm like, well, how does it lock in? Because I don't want it to lock in with a bicycle lock, because bikes are heavy, and then it's going to eventually slide out, right? And then I was sure enough, after I watched a video of them, they have these locks. Cool, they got the locks. But they got so many positions for these. Literally, you have 5 positions. That's it, not 16. So just to let you know, don't get fooled by it, but it just slides in. This is V'd, and it's basically going over the rod that's that's holding the wheels on. But I'll get that adjusted and let you know. You just got to find it and stick it and go with it. All right, so that's that, and then we'll go over here to the GP lift. Here, I'm gonna get down on the floor because it's easier to work on it this way instead of sitting in a chair. Now these were interesting. So what you have here is failure to communicate. No. When I was looking at this online, I was like, well, how the hell do they go onto the bike? Because I was like, well, surely they go into the spool connection. And I was like, I don't know if I like that, because generally when you have spools on here, that's the first thing that breaks off. But I don't like spools, and you do utilize this spool one. However, what they end up doing is you got these pieces here, right? This comes out, like you see, Got one each side, and the instructions are very clear what to do, which is fine. Let me get this in there. Very precision machining here. You got to get it just right to get it in there, which I do like and appreciate. All right, and then you got this one here. So you'll screw this in here. So just mock it up here for you. And you see that you have this tab here, right? So that's the locking tab against your swing arm. So it can roll, right? But that's when you tighten it up, it's not going to roll. But to help it from moving around, right, you have this counterbalance back here, as you see there, which is this. And this is a centric drilled through hole. That's your spacer, and that's your, obviously your socket cap screw that plugs in to bring this in here closer, but screws into there. So what you got is this. It shows to put the eccentric hole down towards the bottom, which makes sense because you want to be able to balance against the swing arm. But that's what you do. Screw that in together, and there you go. And actually, it wouldn't be as high for me in this case. I would be able to roll it here a little bit to be able to get this screwed in here. Anyway, I'll put this together, get my Loctite out, and show you what's up. Alrighty, so I just got one hooked up in here. So after you end up tightening this down, I didn't show you the process of tightening it down. It's obviously very easy. Let's put some thread lock on this one, blue Loctite rather, and on this other screw here, put it on there. And yeah, all you end up doing is screwing that screw in from the back there. And this little cam piece here just kind of rolls around. And so you'll just roll it up into place. And really, as you tighten this down, this is going to end up rolling up a little bit anyways. But yeah, I thought it might not be too secure at first because, you know, there's a little bit of, there you go. See that? It's barely touching off on that weld there. You know, and they can't control how the welds are here on this, but that's where it's tapping off on there. But, you know, if that weld got ground down or something like that, which obviously we wouldn't do, or if someone else's weld was a little bit higher up, you do have some adjustment for that, right? So hopefully on the other side the weld matches, so this all ends up being kind of kosher, right? All right, I'll put the other one on, and then we'll put the stand on and show you the final results. So let's take a look at what we got here. So we got the Woodcraft GP sliders on there. Like I said, tighten that down, tighten that one down, hold this eccentric roller bearing here upwards against the frame when you tighten it down. And yeah, when you set your, obviously I wanted this as low as possible to the ground, as long as I can roll the tire and fit a tire warmer under there. And so I have it on the lowest settings, which is like 2 lines there. This thing really, I mean, it's useless. I don't know why you even have it. Maybe it's stability. Have a little clamping stability up here when you clamp it down, so keep it nice and secure. But other than that, the GP stands were really good. This stand, to actually move it around, it's like super light. It's just super, just like hardly no effort at all. Actually, a lot different than the pit bull. I would say that the leverage arm on this is so much better than the pit bull. So I kind of get how people would do it or would use these. The GP lifts are kind of short, in my opinion. I was used to some that were quite longer, and so they went out further down the swing arm on the Gixxer, and so you had a lifting point even further out, which made it a little bit easier to use. But these are still easy to use. They're still a lot easier to use than, say, spools, but you're still somewhat a little careful about using them when you line it up. But you want to make sure that your spool is centered where this is centered in the spool. That way, on either side, obviously you're going to clip it here on this side first, but that way you have some extra room in here, and you don't fall off the stand on the other side. But yeah, other than that, you know, it's just only a little tad bit here. Oh, and then the stands have these little clips here that you can use to put your axle through when you take your tires on and off, which I never take my bike in to have someone do it. I just always take the tires on and off myself, throw them in the back of the vehicle, and carry them in there. And I'm usually carrying my new tires with me because no one stocks the tires that I actually need for the track. So I end up ordering them from the track vendor as well. So anyway, I digress. Works good. I like it. Stay tuned for some more action. And yeah, that's it. I'm out. Thanks for watching. Oh, don't forget to subscribe.